Keene State baseball faces one of the top teams in the country. Men's lacrosse piles on the points, and Matt Holderman talks to sophomore lacrosse sensation Haley Ratajak. Those stories and more coming up on Inside Out Athletics. Welcome to Inside Out Athletics. I'm Joe Fletcher.
And I'm Tyler DeRosa. A pair of track and field athletes had solid results at the George Davis Invitational at UMass Lowell on Saturday. Joe Fodor finished in the top 10 in the Javelin Throw, reaching 56.52 meters. Shannon Parks had an outstanding performance. She finished in the top 5 in the shot put with a distance of 11.9 meters.
Owls baseball took on LEC powerhouse Southern Maine on Saturday. The Owls were looking to give the 21st ranked Huskies a run for their money. The game was scoreless through 3 innings, and the Owls needed a spark. Josh Bayon gave them just that with this clutch base hit past the second baseman to send 2 home and put Keene on top. Joe Barter wanted in on the action too. This little pop-up was just out of reach for the first baseman. This would bring in a runner and help make this lead just a little more comfortable for Keene. Southern Maine is still in this after Sam Troiano's 2 RBI single, which would help set up this clutch RBI double down to third baseline by Jonathan Wilson to tie things up for the Huskies. Top of the 8th now with a runner on second, Brandon Eaton looking to put the Owls back in front. And he does. Eaton able to bring in the runner from second. However, that lead wouldn't last too long. After a sacrifice fly to tie it up, the Huskies struck gold with this single, splitting the gap by Tom Visowski to send 1 home and take the lead. That hit would end up helping Southern Maine edge the Owls in a 6-4 win for the Huskies. Keene would end up falling short in the second game 10-5 as the Huskies complete the doubleheader sweep. Keene softball had a doubleheader yesterday against Castleton. They dropped game 1 8-0, but played much better in the second. We'll pick up the action in game 2. The second half of the doubleheader saw both offenses flowing. Alexis Blanchette rips this oppo double to send a runner from second to home to take the lead early. This would be the start of a fantastic showing from both of the Blanchette sisters. Jana Ryan was able to tie it up for Castleton with an RBI single, which would eventually lead to this moonshot into the warning track by Millerick. That will hop off the wall, and after a little mishandling of the ball, the Spartans are able to take control of the lead. Well, not if Megan Moran has anything to say about it. With a runner on second, she sends this ball out of the atmosphere and ties this thing up 3 apiece. It's Moran's first home run of the season. Top of the 6th, here we go, still tied. Arjavich grounds this one out, but that will bring in the runner from third. And just like that, the Spartans are back on top 4-3. Top of the final inning, and Castleton's bats were very active. They scored 4 runs, including this double from Jamie Boyle going the opposite way to bring in 2 more runs and soften this cushion for the Spartans. The Owls weren't going down without a fight. Alexis Blanchette hits this one down to third baseline, and she picks up an RBI double and brings this one to an in-4. Still, anyone's ball game in this one. Her sister now coming up to bat. Here's Megan. She rips this one down the first baseline and brings her sister home to make this an 8-5 ball game. This is Megan's 3rd double of the game. Now, this is getting interesting. Carissa Kenyon grounds this one out to first, but will bring in another Owl run. Keene now brings the deficit to within 1 and are getting closer and closer to that ever-so-sweet comeback. Gianna Sancelli pinch hitting with a runner on second, 2 down. She'll get some good contact on that one, but the first baseman will make the play. The Owls come very close to making the comeback victory, but just fall short in the second game, 8-7. They'll be traveling to UMass Dartmouth on April 22nd for another doubleheader. First pitch is at 3:30.
The Keene State men's lacrosse team had a huge game against Southern Maine on Saturday, putting up the most goals in their single-season game. The game was actually a close one in the first quarter. Joe Nutting and Nathan Sickles scored the first 2 goals for the Owls, but the Huskies were able to tie things up off 2 straight goals by Tristan Dundas. The Owls were able to blow things open, though, with 9 straight goals throughout the rest of the first and into the second quarter. As you can see, the star of the game was Joe Nutting. He scored 3 straight goals in the second quarter to give him 5 goals in the game. Andrew Miller wouldn't be outdone, though. He would score 4 straight goals in the matter of 3 minutes in the third quarter. The Owls continued to rack up the goals in the third quarter, making the game nearly impossible for the Huskies to even make it close. Keene State takes this one 26-6. The women's lacrosse team was also up in Maine for a matchup with the Huskies, and their game was a little closer. Throughout the first half, the Owls and Huskies traded goals. The Huskies got on the board first, but the Owls scored just 40 seconds later to tie things up. That would be the story for the rest of the first half, with both teams going back and forth. The Huskies would take a 7-5 lead into the half with this goal right here by Rachel Shanks with only 15 seconds left in the half. Southern Maine would score again to start the second half, but the Owls took control after that. Keene went on to score the next 6 goals, including this one right here by Bridget Casey that put the Owls up by 11-8. The Huskies would score 1 more goal in the second half with 10 minutes remaining, and that would be all of the scoring for the day. The Owls take this back and forth game 11-9 thanks to 4 goals by Haley Ratajak.
Ratajak has been on fire all season long for the Keene State women's lacrosse team. It's only her first full season, and she's leading the entire Little East Conference in goals per game. This week, Inside Out Athletics' Matt Holderman caught up with Ratajak to find out what all the success means to her.
Nice, Haley. Get it, Haley. Get it, Haley.
Little East Conference, beware. The Owls have a new scorer out on the field, and her name is Haley Ratajak. She's played just 9 games so far in her young career with the Owls, and she's scored 37 goals in that time. That's an average of over 4 goals per game. This past Saturday in a game against Southern Maine, Ratajak scored 4 goals and had 3 assists. And get this, that wasn't even her best game of the season. At one point this season, Ratajak had 2 double hat tricks in back-to-back games. That's 6 goals scored in a game, 2 games in a row. But the thing is, Ratajak isn't concerned about her own personal statistics. She cares more about the success of her team and attributes a lot of her own success to her teammates.
Honestly, I would not be in this spot without my team, and they push me and challenge me every single day. It's like, whether it's like a ground ball or if I mess up or something, they're like, all right, like next one. And honestly, watching them work hard like makes me want to be better. So honestly, wouldn't have been here without them.
And her teammates feel the same way. They wouldn't be where they're at without her.
Oh, it changes everything. She's all over the field. She's good at defense, midfield, attack, all of it. She gets the plays going on attack, which helps us out when we're slow. She gets us going.
The team's head coach, Katie Clark, agrees that Ratajak has been a huge help to the team and always puts the team before herself.
I think she's added a level of confidence. She pushes them no matter what the drill is, but has a good time doing it. She cares about the sport, but the team, and I think her individual accolades kind of come after.
The team is currently sitting at a record of 4 wins and 2 losses on the season, and all 4 of their wins have come in their last 4 games. And for the rest of the year, Ratajak's personal goal and her team's goal is simple: keep winning.
I mean, I know it's definitely a personal goal, but it's also a team goal. Like Ali was saying, we want to go all the way this year, show the LEC what we have, especially after last year. I think we're really ready to show who we are, and I'm excited for that.
For Inside Owl Athletics, I'm Matt Holderman.
The Owls are already locked into the playoffs with their 4 wins on the season, so there will be plenty more chances for Ratajak to keep winning.
Women's and men's lacrosse were able to pick up some Little East Conference honors this week. Haley Ratajak was able to scoop up both of the Offensive Player and Rookie of the Week honors, following her offensive explosion. The sophomore midfielder found the net 8 times last week and was able to add 3 assists to her record. The Owls' 2 wins this week weren't just Ratajak's offensive prowess, though. Junior Haley Turva stepped up in the sticks for the Owls and delivered against Southern Maine. Turva was awarded Goalkeeper of the Week, her 2 wins coming with a total of 9 saves. Colby Quiet stepped up for the Owls this week, helping towards 2 dominating wins from men's lacrosse. Quiet was given Rookie of the Week honors following his outstanding performance on the ground. He won a mind-boggling 27 ground balls in the win. The first-year midfielder would also add 6 points to his record in the form of 5 goals and 1 assist. Congratulations to all of our Owls who received LEC awards this week.
A javelin thrower placing top 11 in the nation highlights our Owl Athletes of the Week. Junior javelin thrower Joey Fodor had a phenomenal performance at the George Davis Invitational. His javelin toss of 56.52 meters puts him into the top 11 in the nation. He now qualifies for the NCAA championships later this spring. As for our other athlete of the week, first-year attackman Andrew Miller stormed the field against Southern Maine. Miller had 6 points in the 26-6 rout thanks to 5 goals and 1 assist. Congratulations to both of our Owl Athletes of the Week.
Lots of conference play coming up for the Owls. Let's take a look at this week's games. Men's lacrosse opens our midweek slate by heading to Castleton later today. Wednesday's games include a road doubleheader at UMass Dartmouth. First pitch is at 11:30 a.m. Field hockey heads to rival Plymouth State, and women's lacrosse will be heading to Castleton. Thursday, softball travels to UMass Dartmouth for a doubleheader. For scores, stats, and more, check out KeenOwls.com. Again, that's KeenOwls.com. Now here's Josh Lackalade with a look at what we have coming on Friday's edition of Inside Owl Athletics.
Thanks, Joe and Tyler. I'm standing here at the Owl Athletic Complex, where the Owls of Keene State are facing off against the Spartans of Castleton. In this week's Friday upcoming show, we'll be taking a look at the undefeated men's lacrosse team in their matchup against Castleton. We will also be taking a look at men's baseball in their matchup against UMass Dartmouth. Those stories and more coming up on Inside Owl Athletics.
Thanks, Josh. That's all for this week's show. For all of us here at Inside Owl Athletics, I'm Joe Fletcher.
And I'm Tyler DeRosa. Thanks for watching.